y'all doing? This is Weapons Tech Mac coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, and tonight we're going to look at my EDC. Typically I carry it probably about 60-70% of the time. Of course I have others that I carry as well. So my EDC is this Glock 32. So I'm going to go ahead and safe this guy. Now, of course, the Glock 32, this is Gen 3, is the 357 SIG, and I've played around with this one. I've given it a trigger job and put a different recoil spring and guide rod in there, stainless steel one, and put on some nice night sights. Got rid of the old sights from Glock, and this thing is extremely accurate pistol. In fact, I'll show you me running it on the range, and I think I probably had 450 rounds through it since I've owned it, and I got it used. It's exceptionally accurate, fun shooting pistol. As for it being too snappy, I don't really see it that much. This new trigger in here really makes it nice, about 3.5 pounds. And it's just a sweet pistol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go over this thing, give you the particulars, and show you it out on the range. I really like the 357 SIG round. I know a lot of people have kind of given it a bad name lately, but for me, I think it's a great round. And it brings, it packs a wallop, I'll tell you. You know, that shooter up in the church up in North Texas, I took out that guy with one shot with a 357. I think it was a SIG 938, yeah, something like that. But that 357 round took that guy right out. I have also put on the Talon grips on this guy. Now again, this is a Gen 3. I like my Gen 3 Glocks. I've got 3 of them. I've got a Glock 26 that's a Gen 3. I've got a Glock 22 that's Gen 3. Then this is Gen 3. Then I got 2 Gen 4s, a Glock 20 and Glock 17. And I'm not really a big time Glock fanboy. It's just every time I pull the trigger on this guy, it goes boom. That's the same way with all my Glocks. Now, this isn't always my EDC. I carry a shield, 9mm performance center shield. And some days I'll carry, I've got a Dan Wesson Vigil Commander that I'll carry. I carry a Car CW45, which is a really nice gun, very accurate. And then come cold weather times, you know, I'll carry well, I've got several 45s that I like to carry. But this guy right here, he's pretty much comfortable summer, winter, fall, spring. And the holster that I use it is an infused Kydex. You got leather on one side with a sweatband, and Kydex on the other side. It snaps in pretty good. And it holds it in there pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect or anything, but I like it. It's comfortable. It feels good. And I'm a fat boy, so fat boys, we got an extra rotund coming around the belt there, and this doesn't seem to bother it too bad. So I'm going to give you some close-ups. We'll talk about this guy. I'll give you some particulars. It's basically the size of a Glock 19, except it's got the 357 SIG going for it. And yeah, well, go ahead and get you the particulars. I even got this nice little slide in plate there. And this particular magazine holds 13. And well, they've got 10 rounders for those states where at least a Gen 2 would be legal, I guess, with the 10 round mag. Anyway, what am I carrying in there? It looks like Hornady. So we'll go ahead and check this off and do some other individualized looking at this guy here in a bit and give you some particulars and show you out at the range, and then I'll wrap it up. Now, we really like our range days, and we like to go outside to Texas Star, and afterwards we really love to go to the taqueria for a post-range lunch. Little Tex-Mex, good stuff. All right, y'all, I managed to get it in there, no problems. And it's definitely a nicer trigger. It's about 3 pounds now. I wasn't going to show you me trying to put that sucker in there. Oh my God, no, I'm not. I'm not one of those kind of guys. At least not yet. But hey, Apex, they've got the best instructions on how to put this Apex enhancement kit into your Glock, and it's really not that hard, okay? Not that bad. Definitely makes it better. Now the next thing is to put some night sights on this guy and play with the sight pusher tomorrow. All right, so let's take a little closer look at this Glock 32. I'll give you some stats on it. Of course, this is a 357 SIG, 13+1. Of course, they do also sell magazines 10+1. And the barrel is a little over 4 inches, 4.02 inches long. The overall length of the gun is 6.85 inches long. The weight empty is 21.52 ounces. It's about 26.5 ounces with the 13 round magazine. You can see I've done the trigger job on the thing. I put some Talon grips. This is a Gen 3. Now it's got this weird little cap at the end of this magazine that I put on there a while back, just so I could identify it in my safe. But I don't usually carry it because it sticks out. This is like a range magazine, I guess. I don't know. This is a Gen 3. And I like my Gen 3 guns. I mean, I really do. I like the feel of the grip. I do have 2 Gen 4s. I've not really had any experience with Gen 5s. But, you know, if I had an opportunity to pick up another Gen 3, I'd take it in a second. You know, I'm looking at maybe a Glock 33, which is the, you know, the small version of this, kind of like a Glock 26. And, yeah, it's just such a fun gun to shoot. The recoil is not too bad. And I've tweaked with the sights and the trigger and the guide rod and spring. Yeah. So let me go ahead and do a final wrap on this guy and go from there. All right, how y'all doing? I think we'll put a wrap on this Glock 32. Over the last, 2.5, 3 years that I've owned this thing, it's proven nothing but reliable and accurate. And so as an everyday carry, I trust it with my life. And I hit what I'm aiming at. I'll tell you, anybody within 10 yards, I can put it pretty much where I want to. At 25 yards, I still hit a man, maybe even at 50 yards. After that, my old man eyes kick in. I shouldn't be engaging anybody at past 10 yards anyway. Most of the encounters happen close up, not far away. One of the things that you do have to be aware of when you're dealing with the 357 SIG is it is damned loud. All right. And so if you do happen to, use one as an EDC and you have to pull it out and fire it, be aware it's going to make one hell of a racket. So don't let it surprise you. That's just kind of the nature of things. It's probably why I'm half deaf already, since I'm a old Navy gunner's mate. And sometimes, the old chief would say, well, plug some damn 45 in your ears and you'll be fine. Of course, 45 is a little big. Wish I had some 9 back in the day, but that was before, the Beretta was brought into the Navy. So anyway, what's my run on this? Well, obviously, since I trust it with my life, I highly recommend a Glock 32, and I recommend the cartridge. If you're not scared of just a little bit of a snap, this is a good cartridge. This gun really doesn't recoil that much, as you can see on my firing it at the range. And so, many thumbs up for this Glock 32. And as always, God bless Texas, God bless the United States of America, and long live the Republic. And one last thing, go vote. Vote. See y'all later.
I came here looking for something I couldn't find anywhere else. Hey, I'm not trying